Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to redo something I did do, and I actually got quite a few views on that. I almost got 100 views on this, but Seth deleted it because Seth's screwing around. Well, no, because the file got corrupted. It's a whole big whole thing. We've been having a while. That's why we haven't been able to get these videos up in a while. A lot of inconsistencies. So we haven't been able to get them up in a while. So I am here to redo which I wasn't even gonna redo it, but like having but since Batman vs Superman's coming out soon, and so many people are like there are people criticizing the criticism on Man of Steel, and some people just don't get why people don't like Man of Steel got these mixed reviews. There's so many DC fans out there who just like, and I don't know any of them personally, because even some of my friends who are DC fans didn't like Man of Steel, but there are so many DC fans out there who are so angry that people didn't just overwhelmingly love Man of Steel. And I am here to give my top 5 reasons why Man of Steel was a bad movie. It's now not saying if you love it, you like it, then that's cool with you. You like it. But I'm here to give my top 5 reasons why it was mixed, why I'm going to give the other side of the equation, the side that I'm on, which is I didn't like this movie at all. Number 1, bland characters and bland acting. There was no standouts in this movie. It felt like everyone was going through the motions. I have said over and over again, this movie felt soulless, it felt colorless, it felt way too, well, I'll get to one of the pieces because one of them is my number 2, but none of the characters actually came out. The only character who really showed any acting chops in this entire movie was Henry Cavill, who I thought was who for all my problems with this movie, for me not liking it, I still liked him as a Superman character. But everyone else's acting was just cool. You could no one gave an acting performance that made you go, this movie would be so different if you took that person out of it. There is none of that. With Marvel, you got people and maybe it's because I'm used to Marvel having these characters who literally they embody their roles so well that if you took them out, it's whoa, these dudes are these characters. I didn't feel that, and I was really hoping I would. I was thinking I was gonna feel this movie. I went to see that movie opening day, and I thought that it would be interesting characters. I saw the cast; it was a fantastic cast, but none of them really brought anything to their roles. Especially the guy who played Clark's dad on Earth. He really his whole deal was a little confusing. His other whole deal was a little confusing. It was just really bland acting in this movie. And I'm gonna get my number 2. My number 2 is it was way too sour and dull and dour and dark. Superman's supposed to represent hope, and this movie felt hopeless. There wasn't really many scenes where there was not many scenes where there was light, period, and most of the scenes just felt and they over dramatic and a little bit over the top. And I understand it's a Superman movie, but some of these scenes were just kind of just some of these scenes were just unnecessarily dark, and one guy had said before, it's a cheap trick to use flashbacks to try to make you care about the character so you can jump into the action, which is basically what they try to do. I'm I don't care about this guy who's sitting here crying on the ground. It just really felt like they were trying so hard to make this Batman. They were trying so hard that when I'm watching this movie, I'm oh, this isn't Man of Steel, this is Superman Begins. Basically, to me, that's what it felt like. Superman Begins. And my number 3, which isn't as high on my list, because I don't think it was as deterrent, because I sort of enjoyed the fight, but that whole destruction thing was so over the top. It was way over the top. And I know someone has, Warner Brothers has said now that they didn't adjust Batman vs Superman because of people's reactions to that. I'm almost sitting here horseshit, because there's no way in hell you didn't hear that. They were so loud. If Warner Brothers didn't hear these people complaining about it, because I'm pretty sure if everybody loved it, they wouldn't even have I don't think they would have addressed it in this movie. I don't. Or they would have used it, but it wouldn't have been as prevalent. It wouldn't have been boom, yeah, there you go. In the first trailer, boom, there you go. Yeah, we're gonna use that to our advantage. I don't think it would have been as prevalent. But since people did complain, they used that. And the destruction and stuff, granted, one of the reasons it's lower on my list is because it was because some of it was unavoidable, but like it's things that happened within the fight that didn't make sense. That didn't make sense, which I'm just gonna combine this together in my number 3, which is the fight itself didn't make sense because Superman, like everyone keeps saying, he's a beginner, he's a starter, this is his first time ever. Yet he can somehow take on a general who has the same strengths and ability as him, plus military training. Yet he can take him on. Not to mention, Superman wasn't very conscious of blowing up all these buildings and killing all these people, but he can go save Lois Lane halfway across the city. He can go make out Lois Lane in the middle of a freaking... And that kiss was so out of place. That kiss was so out of place. Which leads me to my 4th problem, Lois Lane. She had no business being anywhere in this movie. Every time I saw her on screen, I'm just like, why is she there? She had no business. She had no business being having an interview with Clark. She had no, like, the only time that they communicated that I was like, okay, that was pretty good, was literally when she met him in the iceberg and whatnot. But that was even kind of horse crap. I'm just like, yeah, you meet some strange guy in the middle of a freaking Antarctic. He has no clothes. He has just this thin layer of shirt on, and you're just like, it's so lame. And even the kiss was so off base. They had no chemistry whatsoever. I do not see what people are saying, because I'm just like, I don't remember them even having a meaningful conversation. Like, that movie, this movie just irks me. This movie irks me. If I have to see another reference to Jesus, I might even stop the top 10. I might just stop the top 5. That's how irksome this movie is, and how irksome all these people who freaking keep on saying, oh, this movie doesn't deserve the criticism. It does deserve the criticism, because it's a terribly flawed movie. I don't know why people are just like people, I don't know how people are looking really hard at something and just like you can look at a pile of crap and see a masterpiece if you want. That's your prerogative. That's what you think, and that's what you think cool. But I'm not understanding these people who are starting to swing around and go, Man of Steel doesn't deserve all that hate that it gets. It was a masterpiece of crap, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions. It was one of the most disappointing movies of the year, and no one wants to call it a disappointment, because everyone knows that that they need this movie to make the DC Universe. And everyone's in denial that the first movie in the DC Universe was a letdown, a disappointment. The movie isn't even better than any... Like, I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes this morning. Man of Steel is a 56% movie. The lowest movie Marvel has is Iron Man 2. That's a 73. Iron Man 2 is higher than that movie. And Iron Man 2 was way more entertaining than this movie. The movie was just bored. Like, the movie started to bore me a little bit with all this dramatic. And if I heard another reference to Superman being Jesus again, I'm done. Like, it is ridiculous. And it's really irking me how many people are hopping on this bandwagon of Man of Steel is unfairly ridiculed. No. And there's like these guys on one of my favorite channels, Collider. I wish I could like sit down and talk to those guys, because I wish I could sit down and talk to someone who actually really love this movie and call it a masterpiece, just to like ask them what did they see, because what everyone else saw, what half of the world saw, obviously ain't the same thing. No one gave this movie a high, I guess some people gave this movie a high grade, but I don't know, man. I'm sitting back looking at this movie. I watched it again. I just watched it again just to do this. And I'm still, even the whole thing with Zod made no sense. The planet's about to blow up. Why would you shoot Zod into outer space? Well, we're imprisoning you. The planet's about to blow up. What difference does it make? That whole weird Matrix baby thing at the beginning was weird as hell, too. Not to mention the weird thing with Russell Crowe not really being dead. His father's not really dead. He's still subconsciously moving around doing things, which is so freaking weird. And he's being Lois like, ooh, I like you, Lois. Like, oh man, this movie just has so many problems. Superman got his ass whooped by that one chick all throughout the entire movie. They killed her off lame too. The chick who kept whooping his ass, they just killed her off. We gotta find a way to get rid of her, blow her up, so she stopped whooping his ass, because they know there was no explanation. She just whooped his ass again. No moving, no character arc. She's just smiling in the end. I don't know. I even gave a damn about those 2 people getting killed. He just murdered everyone else without a second thought. So I don't see why he cares about these 2 people about to get killed in front of him. These 2 idiots who don't even get up and move. Now, granted, you can say, oh, maybe they're in shock. But I'm like, screw that. Are Really? That's the best you got? You're in shock? In short, Man of Steel is, in my opinion, one of the most worst superhero movies I've ever seen. It had, for every good thing this movie does, it does two more things worse. It does two more things bad. For as good as that costume looks, everybody else looks stupid. I quite don't understand why they had to try to make it so dark. I don't quite understand why they had to try to make him Batman. I don't know why they tried to force feed and try to force you to feel emotionally connected to this character. It wasn't earned. None of the emotional things were earned. They try to force it down your throat, try to force you to be emotionally invested in this character with nothing earned, and I did not like it one bit. If I had to give Man of Steel a freaking review stat, I'd probably give it a 3 out of freaking 10. Because it was that bad of a movie, and it deserves what it gets. And that is my point, is that it deserves what it gets. And that is why they're making Batman vs. Superman. Not because it was in a plan, not because they wanted to, because Man of Steel sucked. I don't know what these DC fans are so delusional thinking, oh no, this was the plan. No, this wasn't a freaking plan. They had the balls to make Man of Steel 2 because they know ain't nobody going to see that damn thing. That's why Man of Steel 2 hasn't even been brought up yet. They brought up every other movie but Man of Steel 2. And that is the truth. Thank you for joining me on Comic Game Movie Show. If you agree with me or not, please tell me I'm wrong. Thank you.